We're recording today on July 25th. Our project is on cultural diversity in Belize and Guyana, and we're doing our project on home health care. Kermisha is going to explain business etiquette for Guyana and Belize.
Hello, my name is Kermisha Yates, and I did my part on business etiquette in Guyana and Belize. A few facts about Guyana and Belize on the business etiquette side. The communication and the general dress code and the greeting and punctuality is very important. And Belize communication is, English is the official language of Belize. Most residents speak Spanish or Creole. Other languages include Mayan dialect, and they also speak German in Belize. Okay, in Belize, the general dress code is casual for the men and women. If you're a foreigner and you're doing business, you should not expect to find a Belize counterpart in a suit and tie. They conduct yourself with appointments. Appointments are initially preferred, and punctuality is encouraged and appreciated in Belize's business setting. In Guyana, in their business setting, you can be late. If the appointment is at 9, you can get there at 10 o'clock and it's still okay, versus being in America and being punctual. So the greeting in Belize, all forms of greeting they begin with small talk, a simple hello, good morning, and an exchange of pleasantries with neutral topics that are up for discussion. So whatever they're discussing the topic, you should stick with the topic. Don't go off the topic. They prefer for you just to stick with the topic. Punctuality, they're, like I said, in Belize, they're very prompt with punctuality, but in Guyana, punctuality is loose and it's not strictly enforced. This means when you're at a meeting, if it's scheduled at 9, then it's expected that the people will arrive at 9:30 or 10. And Guyana, with the communication, they're very direct and straight to the point. Honesty is appreciated and accepted. Humor plays a big role. So in Guyana versus Belize, Guyana, they're very playful. They like humor. That's how, if they call you fat, that's a compliment. Versus being in America, somebody's call you fat, it's not good. Anyways, that's about all I have to say about that. My visual aid, I printed out 2 business meetings. On the right hand side, this is a business meeting from Guyana. This is from the Bell Trade. They just got through modernizing immigrants. On the left hand side, this is a job fair in Belize. And these young men, I don't know if you can see it, these young men, they just sold one of their products. So these are foreign businesses. Now Emily is going to explain the education in Belize and Guyana. Thank you.
Go.
Hey, I'm Emily Frost. Today I'll be talking about education in Belize and Guyana. The curriculum in Belize is set by the Ministry of Education and Youth. So if he doesn't feel that the curriculum is what it needs to be, he will change it and make it to benefit the kids more so. I got that from Culturegrams off the Tri-County website. There is a college in Belize. It's called the Wesley Junior College. And the programs offered are history, music education, social services, computer repair and maintenance, and Galen University. Degree program fields are social science, business administration, education, and anthropology. The Sacred Heart Junior College offers just about anything really, but their main focus is trying to get the students to go for something they see interesting and beneficial to them. St. John's, they have workshops and professional training, so when you get done with your program of study, they'll help you go out and get, we call going out and getting a little bit of a hindsight of what you're walking into before you actually go into the field and do it. Belize Medical College, their curriculum is based off ours, so everything is sort of similar, but students can have hands-on experience through the local hospitals in the United States, United Kingdom, Belize, and Mexico. and that came from the Global Road off the Tri-County website. The QSI International School Belize was opened in 2011 as a nonprofit school, and students can enroll from ages 3 to 15. It's fairly new, so not a whole lot of people go there as of yet. And the Belize Christian Academy, students can have electives as computers, drama, horticulture, career planning, accounting, typing, photography, living skills, music, and journalism. The education in Guyana, it has some programs, but their main focus is the medical university at Greenheart. They have a 4-year program. It is 2 years of studies and then 2 years of hands-on experience. After they complete it, they take a medical license exam to see if they can go out and practice medicine. That is students in Guyana's public schools. They do have nurseries, but most people don't decide to go there because they do have to pay for tuition, just like in college. And Nations University, they can get degrees from the University of London's external programs. And Belize has a better education program over Guyana because they offer more and they do more of hands-on for their students than Guyana. Guyana just kind of throws you in there and says learn and go. That's it. And then Bethany will be talking about religion in Belize and Guyana.
I'm Bethany Dyer, and I'm recording on Belize and Guyana, and I'm doing religion. To start off, Belize is the most common religion in Belize is Christianity. Christianity believes in God. They read the Bible for guidance. Crosses are significant because they show God's love for what He did, and prayer is the daily thing for that personal relationship with God. Other religions in Belize are Protestant and Catholic, Roman Catholic. Protestants are another form of Christianity. Their principles of Reformation, separate from Roman Catholic, they formed in the early years of America. And then Catholics, they gear more towards the Pope than a pastor. They attend cathedrals instead of churches, and they go to confessions instead of praying for forgiveness. And I found those on Global Road Warrior on the Tri-County Library website. The next is discrimination against religion is illegal in Belize. You can get punishment for that. And I found that on Culture Grounds on the TCTC website. Guyana is a little different in religion. There's 64% of the population believes in Christianity. 25% of the population believes in Hinduism. Hindus is part of an Indian religion. They believe in a way of life, and their goal for human life is ethics, duties, prosperity, work, desires, passion, freedom, salvation, and they turn to statues and gods for their guidance. Roughly 7% of the population in Guyana is Muslim, and Muslims, their God is Allah, and they believe there's only one God. Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, and the Quran is their Bible. And then they have a sacred month of prayer. The major Christian congregations are Pentecostal, Roman Catholic, Seventh-day Adventist, Anglican, and various other Protestant denominations. Government and religious leaders promote interfaith and peace and understanding. People of any religion can worship freely without interference. The government does not regulate clerics or pay them. Ministers, priests, and imams are respected in society. Guyana is a multi-religious society, and foreigners are allowed to participate in the country's religious activities without any hindrance. And there is a multiple religion. Also, in both countries, they both teach kids in school about the different religions. And I found all of that on Global Road Warrior on TCTC website, Culturegrams on TCTC website. Now Denise is going to explain the climate in Belize and Guyana.
Hey, I'm Denise Holiday, and I'm going to talk today about the climate in Belize and Guyana. In Belize, the climate is tropical monsoonal. They have high humidity year-round. There's a brief dry season from February through May, but they have a pronounced wet season. In the south of the country, it's a tropical rainforest climate, and they don't have a discernible dry season. In the north, it's flat with marshes and lagoons, and with tropical savannas, and they have dry winter season. And then in the coastal areas, they're covered with mangrove swamps. Belize is subject to coastal flooding and hurricanes between the months of June and November. So on here I have some information about Belize. We've got their rainfall is the graph here at the bottom showing the months and their average rainfall for each month. And in Guyana, their climate is tropical equatorial. They have high temperatures and humidity and significant rainfall. Their rainfall is much more than in Belize. They have 2 wet seasons, May through July and November through January. But they also have 2 dry seasons, August through October and February through April. They also have 3 distinct regions. They have coastal plain, which is cooler with sea breezes. They have interior highlands, which have cooler temperatures. And then they have the Rupununi savanna, which is in the south of the country, which is bordered with Brazil. And they have dry and sultry temperatures there. And on the right side here, we have Guyana and we have rainfall here. In the middle, we have the water temperatures, and you can see how those fluctuate between the 2 countries. And then you have temperatures as well. I'm going to go into a little more detail about those in some of my information here. For some of this information, I found in the Global Road Warrior on the TCTC website, and that is put out by the World Trade Press. In Belize, the rainfall in the northern plains can be as low as 1.1 inches in May, and they have a high of 9 inches of rainfall in the month of June. In central Belize, they have a low of 2 inches of rainfall in April and a high of 11 inches in June. And then in the southern region, they have a low of 3 inches and a high of 24 inches of rainfall. Now, if you compare that with Guyana, they have, on their coastal plain, they can have an average of 98 inches per year in the northern extreme. So that's a significant difference. In the interior highlands, their annual average is as high as 138 inches of rain. In the Rupununi savanna, their annual average is 59 inches. So you can kind of see the rainfall, how it fluctuates between the 2 graphs here. See how much higher it is in Guyana. They have much more rainfall there. And that information I also got from Road Warrior, and as well as the Culturegrams online edition on the TCTC website. Now we'll go into the temperatures, starting with Belize. In the northern plains, with their swampy terrain near the coast and a slight plateau in the west, their temperature range is from 82 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. In the central region, they have large savannas, and that temperature range is 81 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's the same for their extreme southern region, with the low-lying countryside broken by hilly terrain in the west. Their temperatures are 81 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So the temperatures really don't fluctuate a lot in the different areas of the country. It's pretty consistent. With Guyana, their temperatures are slightly higher. In their wet season, the highs are 90 degrees Fahrenheit. July is their hottest month. In the interior highlands, their highest peaks may have an average temperature in February as low as 53 degrees. So the higher that elevation, the lower that temperature. February is their coldest month. In their dry season, the average temperatures are between 73 and 84 degrees Fahrenheit. And just as a side note, Georgetown, the city of Georgetown in Guyana, they have never recorded a temperature below 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be nice. I also had information from Funk and Wagnall's New Encyclopedia 2017, and that was the EBSCO host through the TCTC library, and that was for Belize as well as Guyana. Belize is kind of preferred to Guyana just based on the rainfall and the average temperatures. Belize is a little more consistent and moderate in their rainfall. And now Kendra is going to tell us about currency and gender roles in Belize and Guyana.
Okay, so in conclusion, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the gender roles in Belize and Guyana. First, the gender roles in Belize, in the rural communities, men and women function equally as the shaman or the healers. However, in Guyana, the abandonment of children by their fathers and a culture of male-centered drinking leave women to have sole responsibility for children and be the breadwinner with no social welfare assistance. This would make it significantly more difficult to pursue any education and health care, along with the fact that their schools are structurally different from the schools in Belize. With Belize having better education and medical background and just having a better social situation overall, we have chose to start our home health care in Belize. The climate is more consistent and it will help us to have more jobs for people there. As far as the religion, it's not much different from what we have here in the United States. A lot of the people that go over there for jobs can relate to the Christianity more than they can the belief system in Guyana. Currency for Belize and Guyana are very similar to what we have in the United States. They choose to have political figures, religion, animals, and different things of their culture on their money, kind of like we do with our presidents in the USA, and different things that just, stand out and make a big impression. That's generally what they want printed on their money. I got the information for this from our Road Warrior site at the TCTC website and at the Virtual Gale Reference Library. But in closing, home health care would definitely benefit more in Belize, just as far as education, as far as religion, currency. Everything is more what we are used to versus the gender roles in Guyana and their education making it more difficult. So home health care is going to be better served to expand in Belize versus Guyana.